Okay, and hopefully we're live. And today is Danny Ric Delivery Day. Which is kind of the best day of the week. And of course, F1 at the Red Bull Ring to go over. Now, itchy nose. What were we doing? We've got a job in progress. And we are level 5. We just bought our truck. We're hauling some ice cream to Turin. Going to try and work our way up to level 10. It'll be time to expand our garage. Get ourselves a new Renault. And everyone wants a new Renault. An upgrade. Everyone wants an upgraded Renault. So they do. So, let's get back to driving. Straight into it. No coffee, no primer. Just try and drive. I've got myself offset here.
Here we go.
And that's right, we'd only just started this job, hadn't we? It's the evening, so we'll put the lights on. So look at the Mapparino. Just a short haul. Oh, let's go past here. You know, we can do that when we get there because we're in our own truck. When we get there, I may go and take this flag off the truck. It's got to be hurting performance. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, so we'll go for a drive after we've arrived. Select a forward gear.
Turn left.
Now, what side of the road do we drive on again?
Turn right.
And so, the Red Bull Ring. There's certain tracks I look forward to, and Spielberg is one of them. I really enjoy driving the game in sim race, driving the track in sim racing. It's quite a challenging track, even though it's only 9 turns. There's a lot happening at the track. It's a great track to drive. I've got that refrigerated container for the ice cream. Humanitarian run. Yeah, and the Red Bull track is one of those. Red Bull Ring is one of those tracks where it's just a good track. I heard, I saw some people in YouTube comments say during qualifying talking about how it's a horsepower track. I mean, that's not really the case. If that's the case, you know, why did McLaren run well? I mean, the chassis needs to be able to handle
Turn left.
the turns. And you can see some people really struggled And the heat apparently played a big part for some people, but yeah, it likes a good chassis
Get
if
ready
you're
to turn right.
can't handle high-speed turns and
Turn
changing
right.
elevations. Then you'll have a rough day at the Red Bull Room. It's just a great track. I think it shows too, you know, one of the things about older tracks is they have so many less turns, you know, 9 turns. Some of the tracks today, bloody 20-something turns. And no elevation. So long story short, it's a great track, but also it's sort of, it's a bit of a curveball track apparently. So of course I can only watch highlights because, you know, pay TV, so by all accounts it was quite a good race. I noticed on the highlights, I did not see a Renault. I did not see a Renault at all. 0 Renault highlights, which I think sums it up. For Danny Ric and the Hulk, they were 12th to 14th from first practice through to, well, not first practice, but from any time that it counted through to the end of the race, basically. And they can't blame the engine for that because the McLaren doing a good job. Doing a good job, both cars. Luckily, Carlos Sainz, of course, got some massive grid penalty for something stupid, so he got to start from the back, so, you know, that's making racing great again, isn't it? But, if only Vettel's pit stop was as good as my toll there. So yeah, I mean, that just goes to show how average I think that Renault chassis is. And they're getting McLaren seems to have overtaken them well and truly. Lando Norris, wasn't that just great to see? I'm going to divert here and talk about sim racing. I mean, I don't think it's any accident that those 2 young guys who are kicking ass are also members of the, you know, what is the best sim racing team around. I mean, it may be a simulation in terms of where it's taking place, but they are racing real people. You know, they're not like not sitting there racing the AI on F1 2019. They're doing a lot of racing. If you're not sim racing, you're doing a lot less racing, actually racing people. You know, they're simulating that wheel-to-wheel racing, passing, defending. A multitude of times more than somebody who is relying on just their seat time to do that. And you know, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, isn't it? So I mean, let's go to the teams. I think we should always start with Renault. Danny Ric. Danny Ric and the Hog basically nowhere all weekend. If those two guys can't get in the top 10, yeah, it doesn't bode too well for your package, I don't think. I did see something where they were, I think it was Hulkenberg maybe said that there's a fundamental design problem with the car where it just doesn't want to work there. So, you know, no points for you. People say, oh, but Danny Ric regrets leaving Red Bull now, you know. I don't think so. He's got A, that massive amount of cash, but B, you know, Red Bull still aren't in a championship winning position. If Red Bull get in a championship winning position, then you can have some regrets. But even then, you know, you got to win a championship racing against Max Verstappen. Let's go and get some fuel.
Rerouting.
I think we've got pretty much a full tank, but it's such an easy stop, we might as well take it. It's litres, isn't it, not gallons? Yes, I think everyone knows where you're going, sir. On the road, is it? Yep. Okay. Oh, come on, bro. They see me rolling. Let's go, 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 let's go. Come on, mate. Gotta go sometime. See you, mate.
Keep right, and then exit right.
See, I think if you're Renault, you know, are you
Exit right.
are you working on next year's car, or are you more focused on the year after that? You know, do you think you're going to get a championship-winning package next year under these similar rules? Or do you just put all your eggs in the 2021 basket? Being a manufacturer, I think they can afford to do that. Will they do that? You've got to keep hold of that budget. You know, you've got to get people to understand, look, we're nowhere next year because I'm working on 2021. That's a big ask. And I don't want to say anything controversial, but I think when I see interactions with Cyril, I don't know, he's got a strange personality, the way he conducts himself. seems to give and take in very personal ways. You know, I hope he's the man to lead that team into success. If you sort of think about 2021, then 2020 is the important year. They need to have their ducks in a row next year. So I don't know. But basically, Renault nowhere. Williams, still nowhere. No surprise there. I mean, people trying to talk about, well, you had some pace in the middle of it. I don't think there's much going on there. You know, unless you need 10 million euros, I think can't see any reason to hire Kubica, however it's pronounced. 26 euros. Oh, ow! Come on, guys, what are you doing? George Russell. I mean, he's in a sort of fight, isn't he, to get a seat somewhere. And now Ferrari. I think jump to Ferrari first.
Keep left.
Rather than just working my way out from the bottom. Tough weekend for Vettel again. The Ferrari pit stop was just not the old no tyres. I mean, Ferrari and strategy. Seems like the best strategy with regards to Ferrari is have as little interaction with strategy as possible. You know.
Get ready to turn left.
But you know, Leclerc.
It's all over now.
Here's the ice cream, yo. Where do we go? Oh, here we go. Yes, Leclerc, great weekend. You really think that Ferrari should have been able to win that race from there? Now, if I said to you Ferrari was going to be that far ahead of Red Bull, and the Red Bull was going to win, you'd say, nah, not going to happen. Level 6. We've got plenty of long distance. explosives, gases. Let's go for the gases. No, this one. Thank you. Let's have a look at the map. We are going to go here. And then here. Yeah, we'll go there first, that's no problem.
Let's do this.
But also, in terms of Ferrari, just more signs that Leclerc's going to be their man next year.
Turn right.
You know, if I was Vettel, I know I spoke about this before, I'm thinking long and hard whether, you know, this is my last year.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Now, if it is Vettel's last year,
Turn right.
that's a big if, I know, it's a big if. Let's say it is Vettel's last year. Nico Hülkenberg is out of contract.
Get ready to turn right.
A man who'd probably sell his soul for a
Turn
chance
right.
just to get on that podium.
Recomputing.
Okay, let's do some maintenance. Thanks. Okay, let's get rid of this flag. Left window flag. Let's get rid of it. Okay. The light bar. Now this horn is not looking too good, is it? These lights are a bit average too, aren't they? I'm going to change these. We've got some new horns. Yeah. Let's make that one this. I mean, does that look more reasonable? Those round headlights, those round spotlights sort of just look a bit. There we are. Cool. I think that'll do us.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Alright, and let's pick up this unlock. Select a forward gear. hanging out in the parking lot. Now, follow my logic on this one. Hulkenberg out of contract. Ocon apparently, there was news. Mercedes had organised him to drive at Renault, but then Renault picked up Danny Ric, leaving Ocon without a seat. Ocon to Renault, Hulkenberg to Ferrari. Could we see that? I think so. I think we could see that. That's a long-range call, I know. But, just for Hulkenberg to just get one, a podium, a win. You know? He could have a year in him.
Turn right.
Because I think Giovinazzi was going to be the man for Ferrari. And the man who should be at Ferrari is Danny Ric. He's, you know...
Get ready to turn left.
He's kind of Italian.
Turn left, and then turn right. Turn right. Finally, we are here.
We'll just pull in here and do a quick turnaround, I think. Is that unlockable? Alright. Let's have a look at the job market. We are in Turin now, aren't we, I think? Freight market. Turin. Geneva, Switzerland. Cologne, Germany. That doesn't take us anywhere that we haven't been. Mind you, I could divert to here and pick this one up. Why don't we do that? Didn't even look at the job, which, never mind. Why would you? It's not the job, it's the destination.
Turn left. Turn right.
So yeah, could we see that? Ocon Renault, Hulkenberg Ferrari.
Turn left.
Turn
You
left.
have arrived at your destination.
Here we go.
Your route guidance is now finished.
Just like a good F1 driver, I think I've got every apex then. By apex I mean curb. 18 ton of clothes. Could be quite fashionable. 18 ton of Armani suits. Itchy
Ready to
nose. Let's have a look at the map. Through Milan. Let's go through here then. Let's go here. Here. It takes us past that unlockable. Here. Bologna. Home of the sauce. And then that'll do us.
Time to get the job done.
Yeah, so Ferrari, I mean, in terms of winning either championship, it's all over for them, isn't it? So I think what they want is race wins. And that one slipped out of their grasp when the Mercedes was sort of nobbled and they couldn't win that one. Mercedes apparently suffering from heat issues. So Bottas said they couldn't really drive the car fast. So having to manage that all the time apparently. So people passing them doesn't mean all that much, because even when they were being passed, they were lifting and coasting apparently. So
Go straight on.
I mean, apparently it's hot in Europe this year, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of that, but combination of the track and the heat not suiting the car. I'm sure we'll see them back on top next week at Silverstone. Is it next week for Silverstone? I think it is. Not a lot to say there about Mercedes, really. I mean, nothing to add. Now back down to the bottom of the field. Spoke Williams, Haas. Magnussen qualified 5th, had the speed to finish, you know, nowhere, 19th.
Right.
Grosjean the same. So chassis problems for Haas. I'm sure that tells aerodynamicists who understand these things better a lot about the aero and the different types of cars, about how they handle this track. So a lot of people, even Max, complaining, oh, I've got no power. Gasly the same. So I'm not sure if some conservation of the engine is automatic, as in the electronics are limiting the output of the engine at various stages because of heat. But either way, if you're in a Haas, you went fast. Come race day. That's typical of them, isn't it, though, that they're qualifying better than they're able to race.
Get ready to turn right.
Whatever that means.
Turn right.
I still don't think we're going to see Grosjean there next year. Not sure what his contract says, but there's a lot of options for teams now. I was thinking about this the other day, really, is you know, the number of people in top level motorsport hasn't expanded really. You know, there's always roughly 20 seats in Formula 1. You know, there's always roughly, you know, 20 seats in IndyCar. You know, another series hasn't come along. The Super Formula. The Super Formula's been going for a while, and it's still sort of, unfortunately, not top tier. It's still probably on the level of GP2 in people's minds, or F2, whatever it's called. F2, GP2, same thing, right? You know, there's still no space in the world for another top level open wheel series. But the number of people competing has really gone up. I mean, you know, we're seeing drivers from countries where you'd never see a driver from there, or, you know, you'd never seen a driver from there before. The lower levels of motorsport are a lot more professional. You know, there's a lot of racing going on around the world, but the number of seats in the top formula have not expanded. So there's a lot of talent for every seat, more so than ever. A lot of talent for every seat. You know, you give someone a go for a couple of years and they're sort of not working out. I mean, in some cases, if the person's driving the wheels off a rubbish car, you know, you're not going to be first no matter what you do if your car's rubbish. But it's that comparative performance to your teammate, isn't it? I mean, would Haas want an American driver? Could we see Rossi come back to Formula 1 at Haas? Do you go from a championship winning seat? Apparently he's out of a contract. Do you go from a championship winning seat to drive for Haas in F1? Bit of rain. I don't think so. You know, do they look for an American driver?
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Is that gonna
Exit now.
help them with expanding their American fan base? I think it would. If you were a young American driver, would you go for Formula 1 over IndyCar? I think I would, because there's always ex-F1 drivers in IndyCar, but not many ex-IndyCar drivers in F1. You know, so I think for that experience you would go and do it. It's not going to hurt you, I don't think, to, you know, be like Russie. Just never get a good seat in an F1 car. Do okay. Go to IndyCar, you know, rather than going straight to IndyCar. This probably comes down to what your budget is and where you can get a seat, I know, but I think you would take that if you were a young American prospect that people wanted and could get a seat. A lot of ifs. So I think we'll see an American driver in Haas, maybe sooner rather than later. There's just such a lot of talent, you know, knocking on the door. So, Racing Point. Again, a sort of another pointless race for them. No pun intended. Well, slightly pun intended. Yeah, kind of want to see where I'm going. Sort of a nothing to report race for them, wasn't it? Probably out of wings. A lot of wing damage. A lot of wing damage across the board, but especially at Racing Point. Getting the Mercedes power unit. Never seen the Mercedes and the Ferrari power units struggle with the heat, maybe. Kind of makes sense. The more power you're making, the more heat is a problem. Or whatever their packaging is and that type of stuff. Maybe the heat affects them a little bit more. Maybe that's an indication for the other engine manufacturers about packaging or what's going on. Okay, man, the fastest engine here really struggles with heat. What does that tell us about what they're doing? Not like they're free to make much in the way of changes anyway. So, little to say there. Perez is one of those guys, isn't he? He's just a solid driver. The one time he became less solid was when he had a real challenge from Ocon. It's just so tough in those trenches though, isn't it? You can't afford to be giving an inch. But not much to say, even though it's an exciting race apparently, not much to say about a lot of these teams. Those out of the top 10 are sort of just not knocking on the door basically. Alfa Romeo. Well, I still call Sauber sometimes. Kimi. Having a great year. Seems to be really enjoying this year, I think. But good job from them. You know, qualified probably better than they had race pace, but that's the game, isn't it? And then decent results. Giovinazzi getting a point. let's hope he can turn it around the second half of the year. But at this stage, I think Ferrari would be looking at that and going, "Oh, he needs another year." Whereas Leclerc is doing really well. That's why I think there's going to be an interesting person in the seat if Vettel decided to leave. Vettel decided to retire. Imagine if Vettel went to Mercedes, Vettel and Hamilton in Mercedes. That'd be a hell of a year, wouldn't it? I mean, he may want to call it quits and concentrate on family life. I don't know, I just sort of don't see that. I see more disappointment in his eyes, you know, and frustration. Don't want to harp on about it.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Okay.
Keep right.
Innsbruck. Yes, so Alfa Romeo / Sauber. It's great to see them having a decent year, you know. Sort of got a good feeling about it, doesn't it? Kimi at Alfa Romeo. It's sort of got a real sort of Formula One feel about it. Just feels right.
Keep right, and
Keep
then
right.
exit right.
Will do.
Exit right.
So we'll look to see if we got something coming here. No. Is there a bit of track IR would help where you could just have a lean? So yeah, Toro Rosso kind of bit nowhere as well. Not a lot to say about them either, really. Kvyat sort of hampered in his qualifying. Difficult race for him.
Get ready to turn left.
I think he's impressed
Turn left.
this year. I think he's done better than, I think their faith in putting him back in a car was well founded. Albon's probably even done a little bit better than expected.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Volvo truck dealer. Cool.
Turn right. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
So, I mean, I suppose Kvyat's probably
Go straight on.
got that seat basically because Danny Ric left, but he's done. I think he's done well. As well as he could.
To turn left. Turn left.
Then who do we have? McLaren. Great to see those guys doing well. Again with the grid penalties. Grid penalties bloody everywhere. Penalties, 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 penalties. Penalty for Hamilton for impeding. That's impeding. Ugh. I think, maybe they need to look at their qualifying format. Everyone's impeding each other. On a track like that, it's just, how are you not going to? I mean, saw Kvyat almost collect the back of George Russell, but where else was Russell going to be? What else was he going to be doing, It's an impossible situation when you've got cars that close together doing such different speeds. And some of that's just down to this thing where you can't run qualifying laps back to back. If I do a lap now, and that was a good lap, I can't keep going and do a better lap. That's just crazy.
Exit right. right.
It's sort of got to do with the formula, you know, the whole way the energy recovery works in the tyres. You know, the tyres really can only get ultimate speed for a lap. And the way that we put the power down, we can only put it all together for one lap. We can't do 2 laps in a row, 3 laps in a row. If that thing was normally aspirated with, you know, a half decent tyre, you'd be getting faster as the fuel burnt off. You'd go faster, 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 faster. So again, to me, that this all comes down to the problem with the formula. Where qualifying is, I do it, you know, I've got to get 1 lap in, and I've got to do certain things the lap before and the lap before that, and then people complain about someone's performance because he's a 1/10 of a second down you've got 1 chance, sort of go. Nah. Watch out, bro. Oh. Racing incident. The stewards will look at that one later.
Keep right, and then exit right.
So yeah, I went on a grid penalty tangent, didn't I?
Exit right.
It's just madness. Yeah, I got one of these cards, mate. So I go to the tip. I'm going to keep going till I pick up this town.
At the roundabout, take the 4th exit.
Come on, pick me up the town. Don't make me go in there. I have to go in there to pick it up.
Okay, let's find a new route.
I know. It wasn't my fault, though.
Turn left.
Good luck to you, sir.
Go straight on.
So yeah, the McLarens, despite grid penalties, a good showing from them. Kind of great to see. 2 nice
Turn
drivers.
ready to turn left.
Unfortunately, you know, with some of these results, you can't read too much into it because of the track and the heat. You know, don't mean all that much to the rest of the season as a whole. I mean, Silverstone's a fast circuit and that type of stuff, but thanks, mate.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Wait, was it a Mustang? A Mustang in Italy.
Exit now.
The rare Italian horse.
Go straight on.
I'm not going to refuel. Got plenty of fuel. Even though I might pick up a special transport job or something and get a free load of fuel. What a tight ass.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit now. Get ready to turn right.
Nailed it.
Turn right.
Bologna. So yeah, and that leaves us to talk about Red Bull. A great result. Man, so many Dutch fans in the stands. That is one race I would like to go to. In the Formula 1 calendar, you know, there's a few races we sort of, I'd like to go to that one, but not so much that one. The Red Bull Ring is sort of, it's one of my favourite tracks, so. And Austria is a nice country. You know, what's not to like? It's in the middle of summer all the time, so it's often warmish, but
Keep left.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, in terms of F1 races I'd like to go to, that's one, definitely. It's one of those places where you sort of like the track and the location. I mean, I'd love to go to Texas, but COTA doesn't do much for me, you know. But Max Verstappen, I mean, got a rubbish start. But genuinely came back through the field, overtaking people.
Keep right, and then exit right.
You know, the Red Bull team getting the calls right.
Exit right.
Poor Gasly. I mean, he did say that he's sort of struggling with the car. I guess the car is sort of built around mostly Max and Danny Ric. If his sort of that sort of setup doesn't suit him or whatever, but you know, I feel for him. Bringing the Red Bull to 6th is sort of, well, about where he's expected to come.
Keep right, and then exit right.
You know, you sort of think Mercedes 1-2, Ferrari 3-4,
Exit
Red Bull
right.
5-6, so he's sort of expected to be 6th, really. But Max just has a freaking blinder because he's a fast driver. And all of a sudden, you don't look. Your 6th place is not looking so good, you know. It's a tough thing when you stick two young drivers like that together. I mean, Gasly might be the fastest of every other young driver there. So you go, well, he's no Max Verstappen. Whereas, you know, how does Lando compare to Max? Well, I don't know.
Keep left.
So, you know, unfortunately, you can make a direct comparison. I don't know if they're running exactly the same spec car. I think they're actually not. I guess this would be happening to Danny Ric if he had stayed. You know, this is what it's expecting. You know, we get an upgrade package. You know, we've only got an upgrade package for one car. Whose cars are going on? If it went on your car, you'll win in the race. If it didn't go on your car, you're middle of the points.
Keep right.
You're not going to win a championship like in that situation, are you? It says 100 there, but it seems sketchy. Yeah, I'm doing my best, yo. You're covering up my sat nav.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
I'm going to try and make this on time.
Go straight on. Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
That massive detour I took certainly slowed me down. And I stopped. Did I stop for fuel on this run? I think I did. Or no. Lucky I didn't stop for fuel. Because I totally wouldn't be making it then, maybe. When am I due by anyway? Friday. $10. 56. We're going okay. We're going to make it. Danny Ric's going to make it.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Timing is everything. There we go.
Exit now.
Mr. Policeman.
Go straight on. Turn left.
You weren't joking when you said turn left, were you? Like turn left right now.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left. ready to turn right.
Thought we were going in there.
Turn right. It's all over now.
Yep. We're just going to drop this because he's running out of time. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at the job market. Freight market. Bologna. Maybe somewhere else in Italy where I haven't been before. I haven't been there before. I'm really keen to sort of knock everything, pick up all the Italian cities. Venice. This doesn't look too bad, does it? We'll take that one.
Okay, here we go. Finding a new route.
Can I get around the back? Sure.
Turn
Hey,
left. Get ready to turn right. Turn right. Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
So I saw bits of an interview with Danny Ric after the French Grand Prix and his penalties.
Go straight on.
And he was asked about what Grosjean said about him. He's, you know, I wasn't even racing Grosjean, you know, what? And then in his sort of sarcastic way he said, fuck them all then, how does that sound? But so,
now.
just with that, whoa, just with that smile on his face, he can say whatever he wants, almost like, dude, you know, but he just sort of says it in such a
Get ready to turn right.
laconic way. It's all good fun. People sort of thinking, oh, is he going to be depressed because Max won the race today? And I saw Buxton interviewing Vettel. Rick was behind him with the biggest smile on his face. Started blowing on his neck, making it wasn't him. Living it up, mate. Probably sits in that car and says, shit, I'm getting paid a truckload of money to drive an F1 car. How good is this? Oh, well, oh no, I came 12th. First world problems, huh?
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Don't know if you follow it, but Nico Rosberg has a YouTube channel that's worth checking out. Not everything is, you know, to interest of everyone. I'm sure. He does put up some decent stuff and some interesting... Oh, excuse me. Danny Ric comes in hot. Straight onto that jack.
Keep
And,
right.
yeah, he was saying that they're talking about some aero changes for next year. Which should be cool. And of course a lot of aero changes for the year after that. I'm just very interested to see the engine regs for the year after that. We're going slightly off F1
and
here.
then exit right. Exit right.
My better half asked me, she said, do you think Formula One will ever be all electric? I said, I don't know, but you know, they already have Formula E. And so I showed her a bit of Formula E and said, oh, the racing's alright, but it's just weird without the noise.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
I sort of watched some highlights from a couple of European rounds, and just these massive pile-ups because of the tracks that they run. They sort of get like
exit now.
you know, that F3 race in Macau. There's a bank up at the wrong spot, or some of those sort of
at the roundabout,
well, touring car
take
races
the third exit.
on some of these street circuits, and there's just this unclearable pile up.
Exit now.
And they sort of had it in both of those races.
Get ready to turn
It's
left.
just so weird, you don't know. Oh, jeez, what the hell was that? There's a truck going. One,
turn left.
Very good. It's a mental speed bump.
Get ready to turn left.
We lost the front wing on that one.
Turn left.
Try and bear that in mind when I come out, but we'll see how that goes.
Finally, we are here.
Need some bigger brakes on this thing. Unable to find jobs batching your filters. What? What? Well, that is a pain. That is very much a pain. Was there only minutes left on that job or something? Alrighty then. Should have paid attention to that, but I didn't think I had to. This is where I wanted to go, wasn't it? Expires in 2 hours.
Ready to
Oh, I have to go back into town now, aren't I? Get your gates open.
Get ready to turn right.
Go all the way across town to do this job.
Turn right.
You're going to have to go all the way back again. These people waste our time.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
You can turn right in the red here, I'm sure. Oh, is this the mental speed bump?
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Ugh.
Exit now.
Yeah, stop rattling at me, Will. We won't be slowing down around here, let me tell you.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit
Danny
now.
Ric. Oh good, I can go through this toll again. Terrific. Should have checked the time. But yeah, the idea that he's somehow depressed about what's going on. An interview after the Austrian race. You know, he sort of didn't trash the team, which is kind of cool. Still in that honeymoon phase, I guess, huh? I think he kind of knew what he signed on for this year, which is why that smile is still on the dial. You know, he knew.
Keep right.
They must have been
and
quite
then
open with him,
exit
I think.
right.
They were going to be kind of nowhere. They probably didn't think they were going to be this kind of nowhere.
Exit right.
Let's go pick up the fish, come on.
Keep right.
What's that guy doing? Broken down.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Get ready to turn right.
Oh, we're going for it.
Turn
Danny
right.
Ric.
Keep right. At the
Some heat in those
roundabout,
tyres.
take the first exit. Exit now.
Oh! Apex hit.
Go straight on. Get ready to turn right.
Oh, brake! There's smoke coming off them brakes now.
Turn right. Get ready to turn left.
Will do.
Turn left. It's all over now.
Where's our job? Here we go. It's this one, the refrigerated one. Get some lock on this bad boy.
Okay, here we go.
Check out the map. Now we really want to get off and pick up this city, don't we? So I'll put that we're going to go through there. And then we'll keep going until we pick it up.
Ready to roll.
Are you sure you're ready for this? Don't want any more job offers, bro. We got the fish.
Turn right.
We have
Get
to sleep
ready
with the
to
fishes.
Turn left.
I was watching IndyCar highlights from the last race was Road America, wasn't it? Stopping, I'm not stopping. Oh! Thought I was going to make it. Totally didn't. What's going on here? Oh, we got a damaged truck. We really got a damaged truck. It was a rough one, I'm not going to lie. You had to try though. You're not a real racer if you see a gap and don't go for it. Danny Ric would totally have tried that.
Go straight on. At the roundabout, take the third exit. Exit now.
What are you doing? Oh, the switchback. Yeah, I was watching IndyCar highlights from. I think it was 01 Jul 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19. 19.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Road America. Yeah, Road America. Which, you know, in sim racing is a great track to drive. Wouldn't it be great to see Formula 1 there rather than COTA? That's a much more interesting track. There's tracks with ridiculous runoff areas, 60 corners, not to mention the fact they're ugly. Tracks like COTA and Paul Ricard, it's an ugly track.
Keep right.
It really is. The markings for the runoff areas and that. It's ugly, and it's not much of a track. I mean, with these tracks, the corners that they seem to be, it's almost sort of designed like a test track. There's too much in it. Oh, we want this type of corner and that type of corner, and a long straight and a triple switchback and a... It sounds good if you're doing driver training or something like that. But as an actual racetrack, it's too much, it's too busy. At least COTA's got some elevation changes, I suppose. I think the proof of it is in if you drive some of these tracks in sim racing, some of them are just horrible to drive for the modern tracks. Whereas when you drive those sort of older tracks, less but more challenging corners, it's fun to drive.
Keep right.
We're going to have to get our truck repaired after this. That's a lot of excitement in the last 10 minutes. It's what happens when you push hard, you know. Accidents happen. 5-second penalty for me. Struggling up to 75. Pull out of the slipstream. There's Tanker. Meow. Feels a bit rough actually. Is there damage modelled in this? I don't know. Oh, stick in your lane, sir. When it goes to DX11, will the power lines look a bit better? Hopefully. So yeah, I mean, Wouldn't you love to see F1 at Road America? That would be great. Marcus Ericsson having a very up and down year in IndyCar. Picked up a handy podium at Detroit, actually, a second place. Seem to be struggling at Road America. Road America is a tough track, isn't it, though? Real challenging corners and some parts of the circuit. Pretty interesting battle between Newgarden and Rossi, I think. And Rossi, in the last couple of years, has just been so good, hasn't he? How good is Scott Dixon at just recovering all the time? The amount of times where he has something happen to him at the start of the race and that he works his way back into good points. I mean, that's why he's won so many championships, obviously, but so consistent even when things go bad for him. But Rossi's a man who's, you know, looks like he's due a championship. That young Hurt has been very exciting too, hasn't he? It's kind of like going back in time, you know. Look at the grid and there's Rahal and there's Herter and say, oh, we're back in 92, you know.
Keep right and then exit right.
Come on, mate, go fast. Come on, old mate, go past.
Right.
There we go. Now this is our detour, isn't it? Just to pick up the town. I used to really enjoy watching, because we used to be able to watch on free-to-air TV. Back in the, gosh, it'd be the mid-90s, I guess. When you had Jimmy Vassar and Alex Zanardi. Juan Pablo Montoya. Paul Tracy. I mean, man, the racing was good then. Those cars were excellent. Terrific racing. You know, the problem was that series was the Kart World Series, wasn't it? And they didn't have the Indy 500, and they had the IRL, the Indy Racing League, which was rubbish. It was rubbish. But it had the Indy 500.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
And in the end, it was the... You just can't have IndyCar without Indy 500 car championship auto racing teams. That was such a good series. But they should look at the engine formula there, because what did you have? You had Honda, Mercedes, Ford. Was it Toyota? I feel like it was Toyota.
Get ready to
But
turn
that engine
left.
formula, you know, super powerful engines, super speeds, and they're all competitive, you know.
Turn left.
They were turbos. You know, 3 or 4 chassis manufacturers. They should go back and have a look at those rigs and say, you know, this is a successful set of rigs for both producing good racing and competitiveness. Penske sort of kind of making their own chassis as well. So there's still room in that for someone to be doing something like that.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Turn right. Okay. I'll stop here for fuel then because somehow I've put myself here. Oh, look at those litres. Okay, I've picked up Ancona, so
Turn left.
yeah, I don't want to turn the engine off right now. Yeah, that was just such good racing in those days. Such a good series, that kart series. I mean, could we get to the stage where
Turn right.
you know, there's just 3 or 4 chassis manufacturers and then people are doing some of their own aero? I could see that. And the teams are already having sort of technical relationships, aren't they? You know, why not get Ferrari to make your tub and your engine and you just frick around with some of the aero bits basically? Or Mercedes or whoever.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit now.
Will do. But yeah, that was a formula that worked. Of course they had tobacco money. You know, that tobacco money used to go a long way in motorsport, didn't it? You still don't see that kind of sponsorship, you know, from oil companies. You know, no one's sort of coming to fill that tobacco money gap still. You know, the companies that have that kind of money are sort of oil and beer companies, really, aren't they? I guess you see it in American racing a bit, but not in Formula One. You know, there's no Budweiser Ferrari, no Pennzoil Renault. I've got 4 hours to get there. We should be there in 28 minutes, so we're fine. I don't need to take any crazy risks. Oh, a few spots of rain.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
40 k's an hour. We'll slow it down a little bit into there, so I don't roll the fish, because that would be ugly. 16 ton of fish spilled across the street. Let's put our lights on, eh? Let's get through this way. Get out of the way, bus. Ugh, you busted.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Oh, brakes.
Exit now.
No, that apex. The apex challenge.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right, and then turn right.
Turn right and then turn right. Okay. Oh, that's good. I was wondering why IKEA, or whatever it's called in this game,
Turn right.
wanted a load of fish. Not doing the meatballs anymore, bro.
It was a nice ride.
Oh, the rain's coming down now, isn't it? Proceeding to unloading area. Let's get the wipers going even more. He's old mate. Hey mate. There we go. Get that fish off my truck. Well, we hit level 7. Continue, please. Fragile cargo is not really for me. We can already go up to 850 k's. I mean, that's just the chair, let me tell you. Explosives, flammable liquids, flammable solids, toxic and infectious substances, corrosive substances. Toxic and infectious substances, please. You can rely on me. We've got a load of a boulder on, I'm your man. Right. Job market. Let's go from here. yeah, $20 a mile. Sorry, kilometre. 16 tonne of salt and spices. 51 tonne of concrete beams. Not in this truck. Not in this truck, mate. Oh, diesel to Zurich. Oh, that'd be cool. I like the salt and spices though. We're going to take this one. So we can pick up 1, 2, 3, probably 4, 5. That's where we are at the moment too, I think, isn't it? We have to come around the back here and get it once we've... Yep, that's the one. It's right there. Okay. Yep, just a bit too far, but we'll make it. There we go.
Ready to roll.
So, Pescara. I still didn't get the truck fixed, did I? Never mind. Let's go. Let's remove that. Let's put it there. Okay. Hopefully that'll pick that up. Taranto we've already been to. Then we get the ferry. Then we go to Messina. So easy.
Time to hit the road. Turn left.
Salt and spices.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
And I'm making a few detours, so because I can't afford to dawdle too much. So it's got 15 hours to get there. 27 hours time remain.
Third exit.
So we should be fine.
Exit now.
Oh, that dude rammed me. Me with my perfect driving record. Danny Ric's going to give you that kind of space, mate. No chance. It's one of those things at the start of this game, isn't it? It's grindy, but at the same time, you know, that's what you're doing. You're driving a truck, isn't it? Yeah, so what else is happening in the world of Formula One? I mean, I was talking about Nico Rosberg's YouTube channel, wasn't I? Excuse me. And we're sort of talking about regulations to make the car more competitive. But I think we've seen the last 2 races one of the problems, and one of those problems is tracks, you know. People are complaining about going to Zandvoort, but I think that's a terrific idea. Go to Zandvoort. I mean, the more modern effort. Now, Tilke designed, I think, Melbourne. Albert Park is a great track. Terrific track. And it's a really good start of the season track because it sort of has a great way of showing you who has the best package. Now, it doesn't favour anything, but if something is weak, you won't do well there either. You've got to have a good all-round car to do well at Albert Park. It's a good track. It's a good start of the season. It's a good track, but it's a street circuit, isn't it? Effectively. Man, that one at Mexico. I mean, Baku I'm in 2 minds about. You know, it sort of usually throws up something interesting. But you know, still not sure I'm a huge fan of it. But if you want good racing, one of the parts of the equation that's nobody's talking about is the tracks. I'm all for a French Grand Prix, but poor Ricard. Yeah. Some of these behemoth complexes. Some of the tracks, you know, that are just massive tracks, maybe they'd be better running one of the shorter layouts, because a lot of these tracks tend to have a lot of layout options, a lot of different configurations that can be run. And of course, the main big track is where F1 runs on. But rather than, you know, doing 21 turns, pull out one of your 11 turn tracks. Give that a go. We're going to have to get off here. Might just get in the other lane. Sorry, man. I indicated. So, yeah, sort of no one's talking about the tracks. That's one of those things that, you know, in Danny Ric Delivery, that's part of the job, mate. Just closing that down. It's all about fun, really. This is not a super simulation.
Keep right,
truck driving.
and then exit right.
It's
right.
fun and talk motorsport, basically. You can't be doing something where you have to use all your concentration to talk motorsport, because, you know, you use half of a brain. Yeah, we're fine there. Telepass. I wanted the telepass, but god damn. Oh, here again. It's been very windy here today.
At the roundabout, take the first exit. Exit now.
A bit down here. Train track. It's a train going past. That's pretty cool.
At the roundabout, take the first exit. Exit now.
Could they one day integrate, because they do have train lines, a train sim in this? Intercity trains. I mean, we've spoken about the hopefully coming bus intercity coach sim, intercity coach DLC. Rumoured, supposed, being worked on, whatever. But what about an intercity train? I mean, there's a lot of work in some of these train tracks. So do they go all the way through to cities?
Keep right, and then exit right.
Oh, okay, you can't go up
right.
there because you can't go up there. Alright. It's not just a nav error.
Turn right. Turn right, and then continue straight on.
Okay. Try and stay off the curb just for once in my life.
Go straight on. Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Oh, I could go and fix my truck.
Go straight
Let's
on.
do that. So open your gate. So I really need to fix my truck. Oh, 5,000 it cost to fix that truck. get out of that gate without knocking everything over. There we go. Smooth as a whistle. 5,000 to fix the truck.
Go straight on and then turn right.
That was because I nailed that.
Turn right.
Come on. Oh, it's going to pick it up. Now it's going to pick it up. There we go. We're fine. There we are. Lovely. Going to do this all the way around Europe. That's the way it goes. Danny Ric's tour of Italy. Oh, I'm looking at my window and there's an eagle.
At the roundabout, take the third
Whoa,
exit.
I was looking at the eagle too much.
Exit now.
That's excusable, I think. Oh, he's gone now. Oh no, hang on, he's back. Actually, no, that's not an eagle, that one. He's gone. Eagle sighting. We have wedge
At the
tails here.
roundabout, take the second exit.
We have a lot of raptors here, actually. I was surprised.
Exit now.
There's sea eagle. Apparently the sea eagle is actually a kite, it's not an eagle.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
My incredibly roundabout trip here. I think I've got my lights on already, haven't I? Yeah. But yeah, we have falcons, a couple of types. Hawks, goshawks, a couple of types. 13 in all. Raptors in Tasmania, I think. Yes, 13. That's the end of my expertise. But yeah, the wedge tails are magnificent birds. Magnificent birds. How am I going for fuel? I'm okay for fuel. Yes, I mean, in terms of Formula One, what else is there to say except next week, another race, eh? That must be a grueling schedule. Because when was the French Grand Prix? Was it last week? I feel like it was last week. But, you know, 3 in a row. Because you can sort of imagine, can't you, that, you know, in a normal race team, you need downtime between races to fix things, get spares. You know, there's a lot of parts you got to change to life and that type of stuff. In this case, you're going to have to move everything from France to Austria, then from Austria to England. So you're losing transport time in that as well. Take it they truck them. They would truck them, wouldn't they? Across Europe. You wouldn't fly them to the UK. Dunno. But it's basically zero break, isn't it? And a lot of people were busting, say, wings. How many wings do you have to have on hand for each car? Like one for each session plus one or something like that? You know, do we could have 12 wings with you? You know, say Racing Point where they busted probably 4 wings, 5 wings. That means the guy's got to make 5 wings this week. So yeah, these short turnarounds must be murder on the teams. It's a long season, isn't it? You know, like the NASCAR's worse. How many races are in a NASCAR season? But this sort of never-ending season. Then you got the whole production to move. At the races, you know, they all have pretty flash in terms of hospitality tents and media areas, and backup buildings, and all the electronics you got to bring with you, your catering. It's a huge effort. When you look at how many people work for a Formula One team, you know, Haas and the like, they got, you know, they complain they got 250 people. Mercedes, I think, unjokingly, Mercedes have got more people on holiday at one time than has had working for them. So what does Mercedes got working for them? You know, 4,000 people or something. It's amazing.
Keep right.
I mean, if you're considering going into Formula One, you sort of go, hey, you know, there's nothing that's, you know, is your merchandising and endorsements and sponsorship covering these costs? It's a lot of cost to cover, isn't it? Seems to be the dream of so many teams, though, is to, you know, compete in Formula One. I mean, how many sort of small sort of race teams do you see making that step over the last, say, 20 years, you know? And they're nearly all doomed. We don't need any fuel. We're good with fuel. Let's put the lights on. So it's a big lot of stuff to move. To do it, you know, 3 weeks in a row. That's why these penalties kind of make me so angry. Imagine going through all that effort and you get there, and I've got to change this. And, well, it doesn't matter. After all that effort, we're sticking to the back of the grid. Thanks, mate. You know? Especially when your team, oh, you've got no chance of winning anyway.
Right.
You know, you're effectively paying to turn up all the time. They still treat you like rubbish. Keep right. That indicates I'm coming out here. €57. Oh. I take it these tolls are for trucks. Like, you couldn't have the same toll for a car, could you? Bloody hell. I think we're just trying to pick up here the...
Keep right.
Oh, that's right.
And then turn right.
I'm only going to turn off if we pick up the city. Yes, we've picked up the city.
Turn right.
Turn right. We are fine to turn right on the red. It's a new law.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Nailed that apex.
Exit now.
We get back on the toll. Great stuff. Is this what happens when your country goes broke, when you don't collect enough tax? Which one am I going up, lady? I'm going this way. Got 3 options. I know I complain about pay TV deals because I can't watch the race. There's a lot to complain about. I think still understand why they have to chase that money though, because imagine what this must cost to move this circus around the globe. 22 races, whatever it is. I think Formula One and others are going to have to take control of their own content. You know, the broadcasters sure paying a lot of money for the rights. In my country, I can watch it online, but it's still through a sports subscription that's still related to the main pay TV deal. And to get it, which is only streaming sports and which doesn't have a good reputation in terms of stability, the company that's behind it is a massive pain in the ass to deal with, has been always. $25 a month. $25 a month. There's a whole lot of stuff there I'm not interested in it. So if you watch Formula One, you know, I'm not interested in the rugby and the football. I can sort of, any of that I wanted to watch, I could watch on television. So basically, you would get supercars, which is, you know, hitting it at the moment.
Take the first exit.
And Formula One. Now. For those two things, they want $25 a month. That's ridiculous. Netflix, who's having to make content, is charging you $10 a month. Where's the 25? I mean, I would pay Formula One for a Formula One app where I watched Formula One and the other races that are happening for my youth. I would pay them direct. As long as it was decent and reliable, and I was going to get everything. One of these things where you get everything but the race or something, whatever.
Take the first exit.
Same with WEC, you know?
Exit now.
I want to watch Le Mans. I would pay to watch Le Mans. They had an app for a while that you could do that. You know, however long ago. Back then, the internet was such that you couldn't stream it anywhere. Where I was. But you know, I would pay a reasonable amount to watch it. I would pay a reasonable amount. I'm not the hugest Formula One fan in the world. It's just interesting in terms of what goes on outside of Formula One. This chair is making funny noises. It is the chair, I swear. It is the chair. It's the chair. You know, I would pay to watch it. It's one of the few things I would pay to watch. If I could stream it reliably, you know, I got the content, I could, you know, watch the replay if the time didn't suit me. It was Netflix for...
Go straight on.
I mean, Motor Trend have something like that, that's sort of Netflix for car guys, effectively. Which is great. And it's pretty much entirely geo-blocked here. I can't watch any of the TV shows because of pay TV deals, or a lot of the racing. You know, I can only watch Roadkill. The thing's a bargain if you're getting all the shows. If you're not getting all the shows, I used to get that stuff for free on YouTube. But you're not paying Netflix price for Motor Trend without the shows. It's just a geo-blocking here. It's all to do with Foxtel, which is Telstra. And they're so out of touch in terms of what they're charging people. how their service works. When they charge their customers, there's a box that the customer needs. They charge their customers for the box, so not just to watch the shows, your subscription. They charge you for the hardware, and then they upgrade the hardware and charge you for that. No, you can't do this. Oh, you want to do that? Well, you got to pay more for that. And they have so many packages that you get the basic package, and that's more expensive. That's expensive enough. Too expensive for what it is. And there's bloody nothing on it. You have to add a whole lot of extras. And the most annoying thing is it has ads. I mean, you're paying for the hardware, then you're paying for subscription, and then they're making you watch the ads. And the ads are as bad as a normal television network, if not worse. They are honestly that bad. Because no one wants to advertise on there because they've got no viewers, they have these long ad breaks, and half of them about their shows because they've got no other ads to put on.
Take the second exit.
Interrupt this show for an ad about our show.
Now.
Like, I find it maddening because when I go to, say, my parents or something like that, they have it.
Get ready.
It seems to be an old person thing. They ditched NASCAR this year though.
Turn right.
Which was the only reason my old man had it, basically, because he loves the NASCAR. And they ditched that. And it's not on their news KO streaming thing because Foxtel doesn't have it, basically. So it's just a repackage of some of Foxtel stuff for another exorbitant price. I know I've got my lights on, but I kind of want to see where I'm going at the moment.
Keep left.
Keep left, will do. So yeah, they make you watch these eons of ads. And so much of their stuff is reruns. Like, they put a show and you think, oh, that's good, and then it's repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated. And then with ads. I mean, could you imagine? It's not exactly like, because Netflix don't charge you for hardware. Imagine watching Netflix and they had ads in it after you're paying this $10 subscription. You'd be like, what the hell is this? These guys are getting $50 to $100 off people, plus hardware costs. $50 to $100 a month, I'm not joking, plus hardware costs, and they've still got the cheek to show you ads. Bloody hell. I mean, I haven't dealt with... Telstra used to be Telecom here. It used to be the monopoly phone provider. This is a long time ago. That's what got listed on the share market. Their service is terrible. As soon as I got the chance to go away from them, I did. And I've just never dealt with them. It doesn't matter what it is. If Telstra are involved in it, I cannot touch it because it's always overpriced, has technical problems. It's never as good as what it should be, and they're so bad to deal with. You know, they think that dealing with them is a privilege for the customer. They're terrible to deal with. Never had a good experience with them ever. And then, of course, it's sort of unavoidable dealing with them sometimes. Or, you know, in some areas, some rural areas, they're the only game around. You know, my sort of parents have to be with them, that, so I have to sort of have some contact with Telstra, and they're always so outdated. You know, they've got top of the line price. The way they do things is backwards so often. Don't even get me started. So anything that they have a hand in, I just do not want. I looked at that KO Sports because of it had the F1. It's $25 a month. A month. And I sort of, I would have gone for the if they had Le Mans, but I don't think they had Le Mans. They don't carry Le Mans. They didn't that I could find out. In typical Telstra version, you can't get that information. Doesn't matter if you go to their website, their app, whatever. You cannot get that information. They won't tell you. It's just their way of operating. Always has been. And I looked at the review, and I was sort of, oh, you know, should I go for this? I really don't want to pay $25 a month just to watch Formula One, but you know, sometimes it'd be nice.
Keep right, and then exit right.
And then the reviews are just as you'd expect from Telstra customers. You know, the streaming, which they're paying $25 a month, doesn't work. Even though I'm streaming off other apps, fine. And I'm talking about reviews that were obviously written by people of normal intelligence. You know, it's not just some scroll like, it doesn't work, no. People going into, you know, great detail and they're seeing the same thing again. Streaming problems. They have a thing where if you start watching, say, a race and go back to it, well, you can't just pick up from where you left. You know, just basic stuff. And then real problem streaming stuff. And people sort of saying, I can be streaming on Netflix, no problem. Stream on YouTube, no problem. Can't stream on this properly. It's just typical of Telstra. Oh, we've got the best speeds ever, and you try and use it. You go, what is with this? You know, they've got either too many people on there, or they're shaping you, whatever. Second rate. I'm not paying $25 a month for something I can't use properly. $25 a month. $25 a month so you can watch Formula One. Now, if Formula One came out, Netflix is $10 a month. If Formula One came out and said you can get our TV app for $10 a month, I'd be all over that. And I'm getting one thing. Formula One TV. I'm sure they could chock it full of, you know, the same stuff they put on YouTube and whatever. But if I could just watch the races, the qualifying races, maybe the, you know, maybe they'd cover the. It might make sense for them to get some value out of GV2 and or F2 and F3 or however the naming convention goes now.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Alright, we've picked up this place. You sure what's in that truck? Looks tasty.
Exit now.
Hey mate. No, that Apex. Is that my last major detour? 167 k's, I think it is. I think we're just going straight through now. I mean, you might find that they you know, because I can't follow GP2 at all. Would you do it anyway? Yeah, I would. If I could watch the races, I'd probably follow it. Don't know about, you know, Formula 3. That's a bit much to follow that.
Keep right.
I know some
And then
people do
exit
for
right.
sure, but
Exit right.
officer.
Keep left.
I mean, IndyCar, that's really a question for America. Would they pay for IndyCar? I doubt it. I think it would have to be part of a bigger package. Is it currently on Motor Trend? I don't know. You guys, somebody tell me, but I wouldn't know. It's the type of thing you'd sort of expect to see as part of a package, not so much a standalone. It's one of those things with a lot of series around the world, even in Australia. It's just it's too hard to follow them. But in Australia, it's hard to follow our touring cars, which is V8 supercars. It's hard to follow it here. If you have Motor Trend on demand in America, you can follow it. But if you're here, you can't do that because it's geo-blocked. You basically got to have Foxtel or KO. And V8 supercars is not worth spending the money on. Consequently, I can't really follow my local. Well, rightly or wrongly, it's sort of the top tier of motorsport in Australia, but I can't follow it. It's easier for me to follow DTM. Watch the race on DTM. Watch the race on YouTube. Watch it live. Struggling up this hill. Seems to be a hill. So I can follow the DTM from Germany. Mind you, they've sort of diversified a bit where they're racing, haven't they? Follow that, watch it live, follow what's going on. Can't follow V8 supercars, and I live here.
Keep right. Keep left.
Keep left, eh? Whoa. Probably won't want me to slow down.
Keep right.
Handy little fuel stop there, eh? So yeah, I mean, it's hard to follow something you can't watch. F1 you can follow a bit because, you know, there's a lot of news about it and a lot of websites devoted to it, and Thank goodness they're putting some YouTube stuff, their highlights and that up now. I mean, since Liberty Media's taken over, I think it has become a little bit more accessible. And is it Liberty Media? I forget. Who was the ones who bought the UFC? I can't remember. You know, it used to be that they were sort of not interested in
Get ready to turn right.
putting something on YouTube at all. It's just, man, how backward are you? How out of touch are you?
Turn right, and then continue straight on. Go straight on.
Okay. It's a bit weird, but that's life.
Go straight on, and then turn left. Turn left.
Will do. Oh. Luckily this is right on a hill, so we can enjoy that. But yeah, bro. Thanks, mate.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left. Get ready to turn right.
It's cool this. I like how this one goes
Turn
under.
right.
Like this underpass. That's cool. Where's it going? Messina, wasn't it? Entrata. I'm taking that's the entrance. Oh, what the frick was that? Bloody hell. 11% damage on the trailer. I don't know what we got there,
Okay,
but
let's find a new route.
I will be more than glad to get rid of this trailer then.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Salt and spices. Delivery for KFC. 11% trailer damage. Jeez.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Thanks for the heads up.
Go straight on. Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Yeah, we're in the intersection already, officer. Because I always have this camera view tilted over this way.
Get ready to turn left.
It just puts me off about where the edge of the truck is,
Turn
but
left.
I like to be able to see that mirror. We've got salt, spices and one very broken trailer.
Go straight on.
It's nicely
Get
done,
ready
this, isn't it?
to turn right. Turn right.
This must be us. We have the spices.
You have arrived at your destination.
Possibly a
Your
load of
route
drugs
guidance
disguised
is
as
now
spices. Yeah, right, we are. If we can get in the gate. Oh, what? Oh, no, it's alright. With the shadows, I thought you couldn't get through here. Hey, mate. Oh, still grinding, eh? Your money 353,000. Job market. Freight market. Where would I like to go? Turney, Livorno, or Venice? No, we don't really want to go there. That's going the right way, I suppose. That isn't going the right way. Maybe we'll take this one. 16 tons of carrots.
Let's go.
I think that's almost where we are now, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is where we are now. Let's see if we're here. No. Can we get out of here? Sure, no problem.
Turn left.
What the hell? Come on, mate, jeez. Down here and around there. Okay, it's not far, is it?
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Oh, this would be the road here, would it?
It was a nice ride.
Yepers. These are carrots. Hey mate.
Time to hit the road.
Oh yeah. Let's have a look at the Maffarino. We do not want to break off anywhere, really, do we? So, let's just check we haven't missed an unlockable or something, where we would be kicking ourselves if we didn't unlock it. No. So I think we'll just get on the road. I'll get across the ferry. And then we may finish there for today. Or should we finish this job? How are we going for time? Oh. Okay, we'll get to the ferry.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
No, I'm not going in there, bro. But thank you. No carrots for you.
Go straight on.
So yeah, we'll get to the ferry, we'll get across,
Get ready to turn
and then
right.
we will call it a day. So we haven't got to our level 10 yet, have we?
Turn right. Get ready to turn right.
Like how they didn't mind that I bought that trailer pack messed up.
Turn right. Go straight on.
Will do. Oh, he's got me. He's got me off the line. He's got the whole shot.
Keep right and then turn right. Turn right. Recomputing. Okay, let's find a new route.
Alright, let's not touch this barrier because the last time it messed me up. It's bigger than you think though, isn't it? Hang on, where am I going? Am I on the wrong side of the road?
Get ready to turn left.
Let's just pull up here. And then we'll save it. And we will leave it there. So, Zereno running faultlessly. And time to end the stream. Be back for Danny Ric next week. This week I may do some extra streams, I think. Do American Truck Sim on Wednesday usually, and usually Car Mechanic on Friday. I've got a bit of extra time this week, so may do an extra stream, may not, who knows. But let's end the stream.